Be me. Amelia, 28, working in corporate event planning, sitting in my usual coffee shop on a Saturday afternoon, wearing my comfortable cargo pants and oversized hoodie because I refuse to participate in society's expectations of how women should dress. Some guy I went on a date with last week, Lucas, walks in with two of his friends. Oh, great. Lucas spots me and actually has the audacity to come over. Brings his friends Tyler and James with him. They all sit down at my table uninvited. Hey Amelia, funny running into you here, Lucas says. I can already tell something's up from his tone. We actually need to talk to you about something. Cross my arms. What? Lucas pulls out his phone and shows me the Venmo request I sent him yesterday. So you're requesting I pay you back for half the coffee from our date last week? Yeah, and you didn't pay for it. Tyler leans forward. Wait, let me get this straight. You expected him to pay for the whole date? Obviously. That's what men do. They pay. It's basic decency. James laughs. Basic decency or traditional gender roles? Feel my jaw clench. No, it's different. Men should pay because they make more money systemically. Lucas shakes his head. Amelia, you literally told me on our date that you make 6 figures. You bragged about it for 20 minutes. That's not the point. Tyler pulls out his phone now. Lucas told us about your date. You also got mad at him for not opening your car door? Yes, because that's what a gentleman does. Can feel myself getting heated. A gentleman. So you want traditional masculine behavior, James says. I want basic respect. Lucas leans back in his chair. You also complained that I didn't offer to help you move last month. We'd been on 2 dates. You're a man. You should offer to help women with physical tasks. That's what men are supposed to do. The three of them exchange glances. Tyler speaks up. Okay, so let me make sure I understand. You expect men to pay for dates, open doors, do physical labor, be providers and protectors. Yes. And you call yourself a feminist. I am a feminist. James jumps in. But when Lucas suggested cooking dinner together at his place for your 3rd date, you said cooking was patriarchal oppression. Feel my face getting hot. It is. Cooking is historically used to trap women in domestic servitude. But expecting men to pay for everything isn't trapping them in provider servitude? Tyler asks. That's completely different. My voice is getting louder. People are starting to look. How is it different? Lucas asks calmly. Because men have had all the power forever. Women have been oppressed for centuries. Men paying for things is just basic reparations. James leans forward. So you want reparations through chivalry, traditional masculine gender roles. Stop trying to twist my words. We're not twisting anything, Tyler says. You literally expect traditional masculinity while rejecting traditional femininity. Femininity is a social construct designed to oppress women. Definitely yelling now. The barista looks over nervously. Lucas holds up his hand. Okay, but masculinity isn't a social construct? Men choosing to be providers and protectors is biological. Tyler actually laughs out loud. So female gender roles are oppressive social constructs, but male gender roles are biological imperatives? Yes, obviously. James shakes his head. That's the most hypocritical thing I've ever heard. Slam my hand on the table. My coffee cup rattles. It's not hypocritical. You three just can't handle a woman who knows what she deserves. What you deserve, Lucas says slowly, is traditional masculine men who pay for everything and do physical labor. Yes. But those same men don't deserve traditional feminine women. Traditional femininity is oppression. Stand up now. Chair scrapes loudly. Everyone in the coffee shop is definitely watching. You can't have it both ways, Amelia, Tyler says. I can have it however I want. Lucas stands up too. No, you can't. You can't demand that men fulfill traditional roles while you reject all traditional female roles. Those are not the same thing. James stands. They're exactly the same thing. You want all the benefits of traditional gender roles for women, being paid for, being protected, having doors opened, having physical labor done for you. Those aren't benefits, those are basic respect. But you reject all the traditional expectations of women, Tyler continues. Cooking, dressing up, any kind of domestic contribution, because those are oppressive. Grab my coffee cup. My hand is shaking with rage. So let me get this totally straight, Lucas says. When society expects something of women, it's oppressive. But when you expect something of men, it's basic respect. Yes, because of historical context. Tyler laughs again. Historical context doesn't make you less of a hypocrite right now in the present. Lose it completely. Throw my coffee cup at the wall. It shatters. Brown liquid runs down the white paint. The entire coffee shop goes silent. You don't get to call me a hypocrite. The barista picks up the phone, probably calling the manager. Don't even care. James holds up his hands. Amelia, calm down. Don't tell me to calm down. Grab a handful of napkins from the dispenser, throw them at Lucas. They flutter uselessly to the ground. You're just threatened by a strong woman who has standards. Standards, Tyler says quietly. Interesting word for double standards. They're not double standards. Lucas picks up a napkin from the floor. You expect men to adhere to gender roles that benefit you. They're not gender roles when men do them, they're just being decent human beings. But when women cook or dress up, that's oppressive gender roles, James says. Because it is. Someone's definitely recording this on their phone now. Can see at least 3 phones, pointed at me. Explain how, Tyler challenges. I don't have to explain anything to you. Grab the sugar dispenser. Lucas steps back. Amelia, you need to stop. No, you need to stop attacking me for having boundaries. The manager comes out from the back, middle-aged woman with tired eyes. Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Whirl around to face her. These men are harassing me. She looks at Lucas, Tyler, and James. They're all just standing there calmly. They're sitting and talking. You're throwing things. They called me a hypocrite. James speaks up. Because you are one, you demand traditional masculine behavior while calling traditional feminine behavior oppressive. Turn back to him. It's not the same. Tyler crosses his arms. You still haven't explained how it's different. Because women have been oppressed. So your solution to historical oppression, Lucas says, is to demand that modern men fulfill traditional roles that benefit you. Yes. While you fulfill none. I don't have to. An older man from a nearby table speaks up. Miss, that does sound rather one-sided. Spin to face him. No one asked you. His wife touches his arm. He sits back down, turn back to Lucas. You know what? You're just mad because I have standards and you couldn't meet them. I couldn't meet your contradictory standards, he corrects. You wanted me to pay for everything, open every door, offer to do all physical tasks, and basically perform traditional masculinity. Yes. But when I suggested you might cook sometime, that was oppressive. It was, Tyler interjects. What if Lucas said opening doors was oppressive to men? That would be ridiculous. Why? Because it just would be. James shakes his head. That's not an argument. I don't need an argument. I need men to stop being entitled children who can't handle basic expectations. Lucas actually laughs. The irony of you calling anyone entitled. Grab my phone off the table. Throw it at him. He dodges. It hits the floor and the screen cracks. Immediately regret it, but can't show weakness now. You've ruined my phone. You threw it, Tyler points out. Because you made me. The manager steps closer. Ma'am, you need to leave right now or I'm calling the police. Fine. Grab my bag. Turn back to the 3 men. You're all just intimidated by women who won't submit to patriarchal expectations. James raises an eyebrow. You literally expect us to submit to patriarchal expectations of men. That's different. How? All 3 say in unison. Because I said so. Lucas shakes his head. You want a traditional man without being a traditional woman. I want an evolved man who understands women deserve to be treated well. And men don't deserve the same? Tyler asks. Men have had everything forever. So individual men today should pay for the sins of historical men, James says. Yes. By fulfilling traditional masculine roles. Yes. But individual women today shouldn't fulfill traditional feminine roles because of the sins against historical women. Exactly. Tyler spreads his hands. And you don't see the hypocrisy. There is no hypocrisy. Knock over the chair I was sitting in. It clatters loudly. A child at a nearby table starts crying. His mother glares at me. Ma'am, I'm calling the police, the manager says, phone in hand. Lucas steps forward. Amelia, just leave. You're making a scene. I'm making a scene because you ambushed me. We asked you questions about your contradictory beliefs, he says calmly. They're not contradictory. Can feel tears of rage forming. Absolutely refuse to cry in front of them. You demand traditional chivalry, Tyler says slowly, like explaining to a child, while condemning traditional femininity. Chivalry isn't a gender role, it's respect. It's literally the definition of a traditional gender role, James says. No, it's not. The manager is talking on the phone now. Hear her say, aggressive customer and throwing things. Bunch of people have their phones out recording. This is going to be all over social media. Don't even care anymore. Turn back to Lucas. You know what? You were a terrible date anyway. Because I didn't want to pay for everything and do all the physical labor in a potential relationship while receiving nothing traditional in return. You would have received my presents. Tyler actually snorts. Your presents. In cargo pants and a hoodie. Never cooking. Never doing anything traditionally feminine. But demanding everything traditionally masculine. Femininity is oppression. But masculinity isn't. James asks for what feels like the 100th time. No, because men choose it. You're demanding we choose it, Lucas points out. That's different. He shakes his head. It really isn't. Grab the napkin dispenser, pull out handfuls of napkins, throw them in the air, they float down like sad confetti. All of you are exactly what's wrong with men today. Because we won't accept double standards? Tyler asks. They're not double standards. James steps back. Amelia, listen to yourself. You expect men to perform traditional roles. You refuse to perform traditional roles. That is the literal definition of a double standard. No, it's not because of power dynamics. What power dynamics? Lucas asks. You make more money than me. You have the same rights. You just want special treatment. It's not special treatment to expect men to be men. Be traditional men, Tyler clarifies. Yes. While you refuse to be a traditional woman. Because that's oppression. Sweep my arm across the table. Send the sugar dispenser, salt and pepper shakers flying. They clatter to the ground. The whole coffee shop is dead silent except for the child still whimpering. At least 30 people watching. Phones everywhere. Manager still on with the police. Lucas just looks sad now. Amelia, do you really not see it? See what? The hypocrisy. You want all the advantages of both traditional and modern gender roles for yourself. I want equality. This isn't equality, James says quietly. Equality would be both people paying their own way, both people cooking, both people doing physical labor. Or, Tyler adds, both people fulfilling traditional roles, but you want modern roles for yourself and traditional roles for men. That's not what I want. That's exactly what you described, Lucas says, can hear sirens in the distance. Oh God, they actually called the cops. Suddenly feel very aware of the mess around me. Broken coffee cup, scattered napkins, sugar everywhere, 30 pairs of eyes watching, phones recording, adrenaline starting to fade, replaced by embarrassment, but can't back down now. You three are lucky I'm leaving. We're lucky? Tyler almost laughs. Yes, I don't have to waste my time explaining basic concepts to men who refuse to evolve. Evolve into traditional masculine roles while you devolve from traditional feminine ones, James says. That's not... The manager steps in front of me. Mom, you need to leave right now. The police are 2 minutes away. Grab my bag, my cracked phone from the floor. Look at Lucas one last time. You could have just been a gentleman. You could have just admitted you want double standards, he replies. They're not double standards. Tyler sighs. Yes, they are. And I think deep down you know that. I don't know anything except that men today are weak and entitled. James actually laughs. The projection is incredible. What's that supposed to mean? You're calling us entitled for not wanting to fulfill traditional roles that only benefit you. While you refuse to fulfill any roles that would benefit us, Lucas adds. And you can't see that you're the entitled one, Tyler finishes. Feel my face burning. Everyone still watching. Sirens getting louder. Storm toward the door. Turn back one last time. All of you are going to die alone. Says the woman who wants a traditional 1950s man without being a 1950s woman, Lucas calls after me. Slam the door so hard, the bell falls off. Can hear it clatter inside. Storm down the street, pull out my cracked phone, want to post about this, want to tell everyone how I was attacked. But even as I start typing, I can hear their words. Double standards, hypocrisy, wanting traditional masculinity without traditional femininity. Delete the draft. Try again. Delete it again. Slump onto a bench 2 blocks away. Can still hear the sirens. They probably told the cops which way I went. Get up and keep walking. Try to process what just happened. 30 people watching. Phones recording. Throwing things. Yelling. All because 3 men pointed out? No, they're wrong. They have to be wrong. It's not the same thing. Men paying for dates isn't a gender role, it's just respect. Men doing physical labor isn't a gender role, it's just biology. Men being providers isn't a gender role, it's just... Stop walking. Stand in the middle of the sidewalk. People flow around me. It's just what I want. What I want without giving anything back. All the benefits of traditional roles for women. None of the expectations, while demanding all the traditional masculine behaviors. All the expectations. None of the benefits for them. Feel something crack inside. Not the phone this time. Something else. Sit down on the curb. Put my head in my hands. My cracked phone buzzes. Lucas texted me. I hope you're okay. That got out of hand. But I hope you think about what we said. Stare at the message. Think about deleting it. Think about blocking him. Think about posting everywhere about how I was attacked by toxic men. But all I can see is 30 shocked faces. Phones recording. Me throwing things, screaming, acting like a child because 3 men asked me to explain myself. And I couldn't, because there is no explanation. I want what I want. And I've wrapped it in the language of equality and feminism. But it's not equality. It's advantage. It's having my cake and eating it too. It's every benefit with no responsibility. Delete the text without responding. Sit on the curb. Watching people walk by. Couples holding hands. Probably splitting the check. Probably both cooking dinner. Probably both doing their share. Actual equality, not whatever I've been demanding. My phone buzzes again. Unknown number. Hey, it's Tyler. Lucas gave me your number. Just wanted to say that video is already going viral. You might want to stay off social media for a few days. Feel my stomach drop? Viral. Of course it's viral. Open Twitter with shaking hands. Search woman coffee shop meltdown. There it is. 5 different angles. Me screaming about double standards not being double standards. Me throwing things. Me yelling at a child's mother. 30,000 retweets already. The comments are brutal. This is what happens when you can't defend your contradictory beliefs. Once traditional men refuses to be traditional herself. Classic. The mental gymnastics to justify obvious hypocrisy. She really threw her own phone and blamed him. Scroll and scroll. Hundreds of thousands of people. Watching my meltdown. Watching me prove their point. About entitled feminists who want everything and give nothing. Close the app. Close my eyes. Sit on the curb as the sun sets. Thinking about how I had a point in there somewhere. About historical oppression. About inequality. About unfair expectations. But I wrapped it around demands for special treatment. Around wanting traditional masculinity without traditional femininity. Around wanting all the benefits and none of the costs. And when called out, I couldn't defend it. Could only scream, and throw things, and prove them right. My phone buzzes again. Another unknown number. This is James. Just so you know, I don't think you're a bad person. I think you've bought into a narrative that lets you demand things without reciprocating. But you can change that. You can actually pursue equality instead of advantage. Hope you're safe. Stare at the message for a long time. Watch the sky darken. Watch the streetlights come on. Watch the video hit 1 million views. Watch my face become a meme. Watch myself lose the argument. Not because they outsmarted me, but because I couldn't smart myself. Couldn't justify the unjustifiable. Couldn't explain the contradiction. Could only rage. And throw things. And prove every stereotype. About women who want equality only when it benefits them. And tradition only when it serves them. Finally stand up. Brush off my cargo pants. Adjust my hoodie. Start the long walk home. Past couples on dates. Probably splitting the check. Past a woman in a dress holding hands with a man in jeans. Both happy. Both equal. Both giving and receiving. Not demanding everything and offering nothing. Get home as the video hits 2 million views. Sit in my apartment, surrounded by takeout containers, because I refuse to cook. Wearing clothes I bought specifically because they're not feminine. Because I refuse to perform femininity. While my phone full of dating apps, all profiles specifying, man must pay for all dates. Looking for a provider. Need someone who can protect me. Must be over 6 feet. Must be financially stable. All demands for traditional masculinity. From someone who offers nothing traditional in return. Delete the message from James without responding. But can't delete the truth. Can't unsee it now. The hypocrisy. The double standard. The entitlement. Everything they said. Everything I proved. By losing it completely. By having a meltdown, by throwing things, by screaming in front of dozens of people, all because I was confronted with a simple truth. I want what I want, and I've never had to justify it before, never had to defend it, never had to explain how demanding traditional masculinity while rejecting traditional femininity is anything other than exactly what they said. Hypocrisy. Watch the view count climb. 3 million. My face everywhere. My meltdown immortalized. My argument lost, not through clever debate, but through complete inability to defend the indefensible. Lie in bed, still in my cargo pants. Phone buzzing with notifications. Video spreading. Lucas and Tyler and James proven right. By my own reaction. Close my eyes, try to sleep, but all I can hear is Tyler's voice. You want all the advantages of both traditional and modern gender roles for yourself. And he was right. They were all right, and I lost. Not because they outsmarted me, but because I couldn't smart myself into justifying what I always knew, deep down, was completely, totally, obviously unfair.